Hey guys, it's Chris here from The Ultimate Recycler. Welcome back to the shed and welcome back to the eBay, or at least marketing online series that I started quite a while ago. Haven't been back to it lately since Christine's cancer diagnosis. We've been a little busy on the road with medical appointments and everything. I'll put a link underneath if you follow Christine's channel or my channel and you're interested in that cancer journey. We've started a new channel for that. Right. This video, we're very shortly going to watch an auction finish, which is really interesting on some of the stuff I got in e-waste recently. Now, most of you regulars will know that I do a Monday marathon e-waste video where I pick up stuff from the charity shop, try and save most of it from going into the waste stream. Every now and again I get some stuff worth selling on eBay. One of these in particular I put in the recycle bin, and it spent 2 days sitting in the recycle bin as cardboard until a few of you guys said, why not try and sell that? Because there's people after those things. We'll check that out shortly. The auction's just about to finish. And then we'll go back through what has happened in the last 3 months or so since I did an update on this series. I have had some success selling things on eBay. Some things took a while. Other things sold quite well. We'll recap some of those. I think it's still in my eBay history, so I'll have a browse through, see what prices we got. We've also got some stuff in a milk crate here that I showed you a few episodes back that I'm going to put on eBay. It's just been moved around the shed and I keep tripping over it ever since. So I've got to get back onto this. There's a nice vintage driving light. It's only the single one, but it's a CB brand, so it might well be worth eBaying. I have some dual carbies off a motorbike. I can't remember what they were off, but I think we'll do all right on eBay for that. I have some Ford motor car, new old stock keys and locks from 1970s era. They should eBay well. I have a HQ Holden, about 1974, original Holden radio, which are very popular. We'll probably test that and see if it works. That should bring quite a lot of money on eBay. Something else that's a distributor of some vehicle, I don't know what. So we have a bit of car stuff to put on, but we're also putting electrical stuff on eBay and all sorts of weird and wonderful things that I turn up in my travels and unbox from this shed as I'm on that long road to getting this place sorted out. And I'm going to try not to say to you, this will eBay well, and I'll put it in a box and it gets buried again. I want to try and deal with stuff as it comes along. I don't really have time to do a lot of eBaying, but I'm going to make time because I need to. Right, let's go and have a look on the computer. Okay, so here's the surprise package that's on eBay, and when I say package, that's actually all it is. It's the box. It's the empty box and some packaging. I'll scroll through the pictures. That was dropped off to the charity shop, and it's a bit weird that someone would actually drop off an empty box. There were a few little fittings that I did eBay separately, a cradle, a charger bracket, and a HDMI cable, and I've listed them separately. But I didn't think to actually sell the box, and it wasn't until a few of you mentioned and it twigged that, I should have really looked into it. But Nas in Canada said that he saw a few of these sell online. JJ's Library, I think, mentioned it, and Graham, I can't remember Graham's YouTube name, but he did mention it as well, that it's well worth trying to sell. Fortunately, I didn't jump on it, and I didn't tear it up to put it in the recycle bin, but it did spend a couple of days in my recycle bin before I decided to actually get it out and list it. So there's just over a minute to go on this auction. As you can see, it's up to $71 plus postage. So just for the packaging, I think Graham mentioned that someone would like it to go with everything else that they may have, and perhaps their box got damaged, and he called them a completist, which was an interesting name. So there we go. That was the other bits. There was some paperwork, a quick start guide, and all the foam packaging. I was going to reuse that for eBay postage, but I put it all back in the box when I thought this would be worth listing. I did not for once think that it would clear $50. It's now at 71 with 30 seconds to go. So we'll watch the conclusion of this auction. I don't expect any snipers. I think there's 12 people watching it. The guy who won the parts that finished just the other day, the cradle and whatnot, actually said he's keen to get the box, and he has the 3 top bids. So I know he's very keen. It'll just depend on whether someone else jumps in at the last second. There's now 6 seconds to go. So I would imagine this guy's going to get it, but whether it jumps up any more, $71. No, that's it, but that's fine. Geez, you've got to be happy with $71 for an empty box. If we duck down here to my eBay orders, we can see these parts they're actually sold, and they made $30 plus postage. So these parts included, if we go to the original listing, little stands for the console, a cradle to hold it, a charging dock, and a HDMI cable, and an operator's manual. So that had 9 bids to get $30, and the same guy has got it now. So essentially he's paying $100 or $101 plus postage, which will be a fair bit on that box size, for all this stuff that basically I got for nothing because the charity shop just put it in my pile of e-waste. Let's go back to that list of my my orders, which is basically sold items. Just the other day, I sold this Panasonic cordless shaver, which has been on eBay for quite a long time, many months. I tried it as an auction, no takers. I left it as a buy it now for $60 for quite a while. It just kept cycling over. It doesn't cost you anything for that to happen. A guy sent me an offer of $45 the other day. I counter-offered with $50. He bought it straight away. So we've had success selling that, and that was through the e-waste as well, that one. There's those parts we just sold. I also put one of these temperature control probes on that came in the e-waste. It was nice and clean. It worked well. I safety tested it, and I just put that on as $20. I think as a buy it now, and it sold fairly soon. It didn't take long at all, $11.30 postage. But I don't know if I'm going to worry about doing that in the future because it takes time to clean the things up, takes time to package them, take them to the post office. With a final figure of $31.30, that's what eBay calculate the fees on, so I lose a fair bit on fees. It's marginal whether it's worth the time to do that, but it is nice to save those things. I have tried to sell them through the shop, but they just don't sell. You've got to find the people that actually need one, and eBay's a good spot to do that. I finally sold this Bakelite Champion screw-on spark plug boot cap. It took quite a long time, and again someone sent me an offer of $40 because I had it as $50. I think I started at $60, dropped it to $50, then left it as all best offer, and I got an offer of $40, which I just accepted. So I was happy to sell that, and the guy was wrapped with it. He was doing up an old motorbike or something or other. So we got $40 for that, plus he paid $11.30 postage, so that was pretty good. Then I had success selling a few laptops. Some of them fired up, some didn't, some were missing screens. I just had a bit of a run on selling them all and trying to clear out some of my shed here. I started them all at $20 each. Some of them only sold for $20, and they did take a bit to package up, so probably not worth it. This one went up to $26, this one went to $33. But still, there's a lot of work to clean them up, to photograph them, to write a description, to test them. This one didn't have a screen at all, so I couldn't test that. Maybe I should just have a stack in the shop at $20 each, and sooner or later some computer guys will come in and hopefully grab them. Then there's no fees, there's no packaging them or anything like that. So it's a matter of time economics sometimes. These lamps, I did get a $500 bid on these. Those of you that have been watching this series will remember these great beautiful big old carbide lamps, or acetylene carbide lamps. Managed to get a buyer in Sydney who was doing up an old car, and like a very early car, and he was absolutely very happy with those. And I got my $500, less fees of course, but it's pretty good to find a good home for them all the same. A couple of other car bits we managed to sell. I did get a buy it now on that Carby bracket, and another laptop here, an axe head sold for $100. I think that was as an auction, but only had the one bid at the end. And I think we've seen the results of some of these others in previous episodes. So yeah, I've been doing quite well on this. I just haven't done anything for a few months for reasons that I've explained. I'm going to try and get back into it shortly. I've got some more stuff to list, and as I said earlier, I'd rather list it and get it done and dusted and done and paid for, get some money back in, rather than leave it sit in a box in my shed and just clutter up what little space I have left. Okay, now it's a few days later, and I've actually backed up what I've said, and I've got some stuff on eBay, and those of you that watch my channel regularly would have seen the stack of car manuals I got out of my emergency storage shed just in the last episode, or a recent episode, and I've put these on eBay. So these were the ones I pulled out of the pile. All the rest had been priced in the shop, but this nice motorcycle accessories booklet around 1950s from some Melbourne businesses. I've put $40 on it, starting it as an auction, and it runs for 10 days. And all of these recent ones, I have, this Mazda handbook or owner's manual. And these are all scheduled to start tonight. So they'll start in about half an hour, 5 minutes apart. The Toyota engine manual, the couple of Holden Commodore VN series manuals, and then, so that's all I found out of the recent unboxing from the storage shed, and I've started them, as you can see, 50, 50, 40, 30 and 40. I expect them to get bids from my research. I think some of them, particularly these Holden VN ones, will probably get multiple bids. So we'll watch all these when they finish. We'll make that probably the next episode of this series in about 10 days time. I scheduled them to start at a reasonable time in the evening, and in 10 days from now it will be a Tuesday night, which suits me because I can film it, and I think you're better off finishing it on a weeknight rather than on a weekend when people are perhaps away. So we'll tune in the next episode and see how those go. These other ones, the tractor ones, there's a Nuffield Tractor Workshop manual, a Fiat Tractor manual, and a Massey Ferguson manual. I found those in a box at the shop. I didn't film unboxing those, but I've been trying to go through some boxes at the shop too because I've got junk everywhere. And I've owned these for many years thinking they'll be good on eBay one day. Well, I'm making a decision that today's the day, so these will start they'll go live shortly. So we'll tune in the next episode, as I said, and watch these ones finish. If we don't get any bids, I might relist them as a buy it now, or perhaps advertise them on a Facebook group. But at this stage, they're all set up as 10-day auctions on my eBay account. And I hope to get a chance early this coming week to get these other car parts that I showed you before, the driving light, the carbies, the clock, the HQ radio. We'll try and get them on eBay as well. And when we make the next episode and watch those manuals finish, we'll be able to see how these are doing. So it doesn't matter if you're not into car parts, because most of this stuff I'm eBaying at the moment is either manuals or car parts. Doesn't matter at all if you're interested in that or not. The whole theory of this series is to show you how to eBay, the processes I take. It might be a piece of jewelry, it might be some delicate china, it might be a car part. It's all a matter of establishing if it's worth eBaying, if it has a demand, if it's scarce, if it's going to have multiple bidders, and how I go about it, why I like to have the auctions finish at a certain time. And I show you an example of my auctions all the time. And as I said, we'll be tuning in to watch the auctions finish, which can be really exciting. It doesn't matter what it is. It's always great to see sniping bids at the end. So I'll keep going with this series. Sometimes, as I said, it'll be car parts. Other times it'll be other stuff. But I like to film everything I'm doing on there. I want to keep going with it because a part of the secret to cleaning up, and you all know that I've got a massive job ahead of me cleaning up the storage shed. And you've seen me clean up my parents' farm and the back of the shop, those of you who've been with me for a few years. I think the secret is not only to stick at it and be disciplined, but also to avoid the easy trap of saying, oh, this is cool, I remember this, I was going to eBay this one day, I'll put it aside and I'll eBay it when we need some money. And you never ever get back to it. So declutter, deal with stuff. Don't pick it up and put it down again. Pick it up and process it. I think that's the secret. And I think I'm getting better at that as I get older. But if you look around my shed, you might not think I'm any good at it at all. But maybe I just take on a lot. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.